As you can see in the shot here, I have two identical lures. They do look the same, as it's a copy of one and the same lure. But believe or not, fish would see these two lures very, very differently, and it's to do with UV. Let me kill my lights off and you will see greater difference. As you can see, this one at the top now has plenty of fine details that just glow once exposed to UV light. And all I did really was I grabbed my Sharpie and painted areas I feel will give me that extra bite. So the theory behind all this goes like that. So UV light goes the deepest under the water from all wavelengths of light. And fish do see this UV light as well. Therefore, it makes sense to have some UV in your lures. I'm not saying that it's a must and every single lure should have some UV, but in certain situations when you are fishing for pressured fish that are not very active, some elements of UV in key areas will help you. At least it is helping for me to get odd bite on those very, very hard days. And as you can see, those details are quite small, not very big at all. Odd area here, some fins, and the tail. So yeah, as you can see, very, very tiny little areas of UV, and it can make huge difference. Especially, as I say, when fish are pressured, they are not feeding, maybe the water is very cold and so on. Maybe the water is murky too. Right, I will move those lures out of the shot to talk about the Sharpies themselves. Basically, I have a lot of Sharpies and I used quite a few of them, and I have really 3 groups of them. Those are the ones that I like and they do have UV. Then there are neon ones that are very UV, but they do not react with silicone or soft plastic, so they would wash off. And these ones, they do not have kind of visible UV dye in them. So really one group of those 3 are the ones that I'm using, and by far my favorite is this. I believe it's called Optic Orange, yeah, and then this yellow and kind of lime green, but it's really, once it's on the lure, it's hard to see really. So yeah, those are my favorite. This one is quite good as well. It kind of blends into kind of dark red UV. Looks kind of cool. And why I'm using Sharpies? Basically, they are very available. There are plenty of colors. They are cheap and they do not have any kind of smell once you apply it onto the lure, and they just blast. And you know, as they say, simple, affordable option. Obviously, there are some kind of designated dyes for lures from Spike-It, but again, for example, here in the UK, they do not sell it. So Sharpie is a great option in my opinion. And you will be asking, I'm certain, once it's in the water, will it or will it not wash off? It won't. So basically, for example, here I have a lure that I used for half a day, like fishing, and as you can see, it has plenty of UV. Actually, let me get that light off and you will see. So see, it's orange here and the tail is even more pronounced. So it's not washing off. And the reason for that is as follows. You see, if I would take this orange, right, and would apply it onto the table here, and then I would apply the same marker here, basically this one would not have any UV, the one that is on the table. See, it's nothing. But on the lure, kinda it's curing, it's drying, and the dye itself is reacting with the PVC or soft plastic material, and difference is huge. I hope you can see it. And here it's nothing. So as I say, there is a chemical reaction, should I say, that kind of blends the soft silicones to react with not all but some of the colors of those Sharpie markers. So basic idea goes like this. So I will grab my favorite color, then we'll grab a lure that has no UV, as you can see in it. Kinda, you won't be able to see anything really because it has nothing. So then you want to make sure that the lure or PVC or soft plastic is not bad and has no oils on it to make it all, you know, work better and quicker. And the effect, you want the best possible effect too. So we clean the lure. Now I always like to apply a little bit of UV dye, like on the belly of the lure, if you will. So between where the jig head or the bait will be and the hook will go out, so around here. You don't have to be like super precise because, as I said, it's a chemical reaction and there will be, after maybe an hour, there will be a very nice transition anyway, because this dye will kind of penetrate into the soft plastic or PVC, how you want to call it. That's nice. And then tail. I like to apply a little bit of that dye onto the tail as well. Just will go one side this time. And now we need to let for the dye to cure a little bit. It takes, I don't know, 10-15 seconds or so. It starts to come together already. So now if I would kill the light, you would see the end result. See? This orange is glowing. The same applies to the tail. And as I say, because it's a chemical reaction, it will get kind of nicer and stronger. Over the time, obviously, this dye will kind of spread a little bit more, but it won't, you know, be like all this dye will go across the lure. It will never happen. It will spread a little bit, you know, a couple mils each direction, but that's about it. And obviously, as I said, you can play with different colors. I will apply a different color for you just to see. Now this yellow, that dries a little bit quicker, and the effect is visible quicker too. But that's the main idea. Okay, let's get those lights back on. Also, it's very important to mention that this technique does not apply to TPR lures, the ones that are stretchy. So think of demons and other stretchy indestructible lures. So for example, let's grab the same optic orange, right, and let's apply. Let's clean the lure as always. And let's apply a little bit of that dye. I'm using white, so very well visible lure. And where I'm applying this dye, even though it looks kind of okay now, but after a few seconds it should be dry, but it never really dries. So now if I will take the wipe, I can wipe it off cleanly and kind of nothing remain there. See, everything is on the paper here. So as I say, I tested various TPR lures, it just does not work. We can kill the light just to prove it. As you can see, nothing, absolutely nothing. And we gave some time, we can check that orange now too. See, that reaction is going stronger and stronger. Also, I have to mention that it makes a perfect sense to dye lure that has plenty of UV already in them. For example, this green is just infused with UV, but I added a little bit of orange on the belly of the lure, and it looks just way better. Again, let's kill that light just to see a better effect. See, it's okay, it's visible, but it's kind of boring, you know? And now look at this one. Just looks, you know, way better. Has more details, and you know, those passive fish that will be inspecting the lures, kind of looking at the lure before taking it or following it, more likely will take something like that has more fine details on the lure itself. For example, it has plenty of UV in the lure itself, as you can see, but I added some fine details. Painted orange some fins, and you know, from a distance it looks amazing. I have also to apologize because of my messed up fingers. I donated some blood to a pike a couple of days back. Anyway, I hope you can see how much cooler these UV dyed lures do look like. So I guess it makes sense to finish this video with a shot. There I will show you the difference between the lures, all that I worked with within this video, in UV light. Here we go. So as you can see, huge difference. And as I say, in murky water or in deeper water, fish will see those UV infused lures easier. Again, you might be saying that why not just get super UV infused lure and use it like these ones? Well, sometimes it will be just too much, and something more supple, like not UV lure with tiny little details of UV, will get that extra bite.